everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to be doing another pregnancy update with you. I am 38 weeks today and a couple days, 38 and 2 days, which is insane. So it's been quite a bit since my last update. I'm going to be sharing with you my 35 to 37 week update. So just to give you a little recap of my last video, I talked about my symptoms, of course. I talked about induction plans, my cerclage removal, and if I was getting it removed 36 or 37 weeks. Well, I'm here to tell you that I've finally ditched the stitch. I did get it removed at 36 weeks. I was given the option, 36 or 37, and I'm so glad I went with 36. Initially, I wanted to do 37 because I kept thinking, or I had this feeling that I was going to go into labor right away. And if that were the case, then, my baby would have been considered full term. But I had so much more energy week 36. I had a little bit less pressure. And I feel like by week 37, I was just done. My belly had dropped a little bit. I had so much pelvic pressure. So it was a lot easier on my body, I think. I'm glad that that's over with. Not to say that the experience was pleasant, because let me tell you, it was extremely painful. I was not expecting it to be that painful. And luckily it was only maybe 5 minutes, if that. So it was very quick. Very painful, but it was quick, so it's fine. So I do want to talk a little bit about what the experience was like. So basically I was told to come in at 10 a.m. to triage. I saw my doctor right away, and he just briefly explained what the whole process would be like. I was laid down on an incline, so my head was down this way and my legs were up here. It was so uncomfortable. Oh my god, if you're this pregnant like I am in the 3rd trimester, you know that laying on your back alone is so uncomfortable. You literally feel like you're going to pass out. So that's what it felt like. But he assured me it was going to be really quick, so I kind of just, you do what you got to do. So the next step, once he laid me down, he inserted a speculum, and that freaking hurt. Oh my god, that hurts so bad. He put it in so deep because they have to really open you up all the way. So that was extremely painful. By the way, no medication was given. They said it wasn't good for the baby, so I didn't take anything, as not even Tylenol, nothing at all. So that was scary, having to go through that without any medication, but we pulled through. Now, I think that the level of pain will differ with everyone depending on the placement of your cerclage. So the higher it's placed, I think, the more it would hurt. I mean, you would think. Mine was placed pretty high, so that's why it was so painful. And it was actually a total of 3 stitches, which I didn't know. I thought it was only 1 stitch. So once I heard that first clip, I was like, oh, okay, good. It's over with. And he was like, okay, 1 down, 2 to go. And I was in tears. I screamed. That's how bad the pain was, guys. I'm not even exaggerating. But again, everyone is different, and it really depends, I feel on the type of cerclage that you're getting. I know that the 2 most common types of cerclages are the McDonald's and the, I don't even know how to pronounce it well, it's Cerclage. I had the Cerclage. Again, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'll insert a diagram here so you can see those 2, and then a couple other types of cerclages, and you can see where the placements are. As soon as he was done removing the stitches, I felt instant relief. I had no bleeding, no cramping, nothing. It was great. It was done. So I would say he was in the room, in and out, within 10 minutes from coming in, talking to my husband and I. That's another thing. My husband was able to be in the room with me, which I didn't think he could. So that was really great, because I got to hold his hand the whole time, and it was really nice, having a support system there. So yeah. And then from there, I was monitored for the next 15 minutes or so, but then my time kept getting extended because my blood pressure was over the roof. They were very concerned. I think it was just from the nerves. I was extremely nervous going into the procedure. So my heart was racing literally the whole time. But yeah, my blood pressure was really high. So I thought I was going to be in and out of the hospital within 30 minutes. But I was there for, I want to say, almost 2 hours. And at one point I was getting really discouraged, and the nurse that was monitoring me, she said, okay, you know what, like we're gonna test you for preeclampsia because your levels are alarming. You can go home, and then we'll call you, letting you know of, you know, the results. My blood pressure at the end, as I was about to leave, it did go down a little bit, so she felt comfortable releasing me. And then later on they called me. They said everything was fine. So they think it was just, you know, because of the circumstances, being nervous and everything. So, and then after that I continued to monitor my blood pressure at home, and it was fine. So I haven't had any issues, thankfully, you know, since then. So that's pretty much what my experience was like getting the cerclage removed. I'm just so glad that it's over with, and I feel like, you know, like I'm no longer considered high risk, really. Like all of my restrictions were taken off, so I can go on long walks if I wanted to. I can go swimming. Obviously, I'm not going to do all those things because one, I don't have the energy, and two, I'm in so much pain and discomfort. So, but yeah, if I wanted to take a bath and all that, like I can do all those things. So like I'm so far along that I don't have to second guess anything anymore. Like, oh, like am I gonna be okay? It's a completely different mindset that I have now, and right now it's pretty much just a waiting game because I'm full term, you know, just waiting to see when baby decides to come. So it's been really exciting. So now moving on to my symptoms in weeks 35, 36, and 37. Not much has changed since the last update, to be honest. I did feel like I had a little bit more energy in weeks 35 and 36. So I was able to do like all the last minute prepping, adding things to my hospital bag, installing the car seat and all that. So, and I'm glad I did it then, because now like I don't have anything really to worry about. Everything is done, everything's ready to go. So baby could come at any point, and you know, we're ready. I'm like way past the nesting stage. I had that in my second trimester, and like it never came back. So last update I also talked about carpal tunnel in my hands, and oh my gosh, that just seems to be getting worse. It's like the weirdest feeling. My hands and my wrists just feel so stiff, and it's mostly in the mornings, like when I wake up, but they freaking hurt. Like I have to massage my hands consistently. And it's like my knuckles, they kind of lock. I don't know, it's so weird, but apparently it's really common. Like all of the groups that I'm in a few, like due August 2022 moms, you get the idea. A lot of women that are like in the same gestation as me are going through the same thing, and I didn't even know that was a thing. Like I've never heard about that prior to being pregnant. So yeah, that's been not fun, but I heard that once you give birth, it goes away immediately. So I'm really looking forward to that. So overall, weeks 35 and 36 consisted of mostly that carpal tunnel discomfort, pelvic pressure, and cramping, I would say. Now moving on to week 37. I for sure thought that I was going to go into labor at week 37, just because the pressure that I was having prior increased significantly. I just felt like this heaviness all over my body, like gravity was just pulling me down, and lots of cramping and Braxton Hicks. Very difficult to walk and stand. Even now, like it just gets worse. Okay, it gets worse. The farther you're along, it gets worse. Like there's all this heaviness, and like just having to get up. It's like a whole production, but we're almost there. We're almost there. The baby's movements have also increased dramatically, which I thought the movements would slow down by now because there's not a lot of room in there, but This baby's jabbing me in all different areas, in my pelvis, in my ribs, in my hips. Oh my gosh, it's like out of control, and it's so funny. Like, it's nice. I like feeling the baby kick, but sometimes it's really uncomfortable, especially at night when you're trying to sleep and you just feel jabs in your ribs. That's not that fun. And I've just been feeling weak overall, and I know all my restrictions were taken off, but I just don't want to overdo it. I don't want to put any more stress on my cervix and dilate before baby's ready, if that makes sense. And I know I talked about induction in my last video, but I gave it a lot of thought, and I've done a lot of research, and I just don't want to force baby to come if baby is not ready. I did have a doctor's appointment yesterday, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Every day that I'm pregnant shocks me, because I just can't believe that I've made it this far, especially, you know, with having an incompetent cervix and everything. So I'm feeling really grateful these days. So now for the baby update. So the day before my cerclage removal, so that was the end of 35 weeks, baby was measuring 6 pounds and 12 ounces, still a week ahead. And like I mentioned, I just had my last appointment yesterday, and you guys are not going to believe what baby weighs right now. Baby weighs, or is measuring, I should say, because it's not 100% accurate. It's, you know, give or take, 8 pounds and 3 ounces. What? I was not expecting that. I thought it was going to be like around the 7.5 range, but when the ultrasound tech said 8 pounds 3 ounces, I literally looked at her and I was like, what the and she's like, yeah honey, I'm sorry. So after the growth ultrasound, I saw my doctor and nurse right away, and my nurse did a cervical exam just to see if I was dilated or not. I'm not gonna lie, I felt very discouraged after that visit because I was not dilated at all. No effacement, so my cervix was not soft at all. Baby is just not ready, so that's okay. She gave me a few tips. She mentioned a few of the, you know, old wives' tales, like eating 6 dates a day, drinking red raspberry leaf tea, curb walking. I had my husband set up the treadmill yesterday, so I am going to start doing some walks on there, and then I started drinking the tea as of yesterday, so we'll see if anything happens. But yeah, I'm still pregnant. Yeah, that pretty much concludes our updates. We'll see if there will be another one. I don't know. So I do have another video that's coming up, hopefully by next week. It's a nursery tour and a what's in my hospital bag, so those two will be combined into one video, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Before I close out, as always, here is a bump shot. I feel like it looks the same since the last one. I don't feel like my belly has grown that much, although it does feel like it because my skin definitely feels very stretched out. But yeah, here it is.